Hello everyone, Lucas here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. That was good. So in today's video I'm actually gonna spill the tea. So today, June 15th, on Friday, I decided to go with my mom to the DMV and we actually went and I went to go test for my permit. This morning she woke me up, she was like,
"Oh Lucas, let's go get my permit."
I'm hoping to get through this video before my mom walks in. So basically today I'm going to be spilling the tea of what I experienced on my process of receiving my permit. I've been deciding to go test for my permit for the past few months because I turned 15 and a half like in March and right now it's June. So it's been quite a while since I could have gotten my permit for driving, but today, since it was actually a free day off, we decided to go get my permit. So the actual process was kind of long and kind of ridiculous. It wasn't as bad as people make it out to be. Like the wait wasn't too long, but the actual like process, I wasn't prepared. I didn't know what to bring. So it was kind of awkward and kind of weird. So before we left, I grabbed my passport and I grabbed my student ID through my college because not too long ago I actually lost my high school ID, so I only have my college ID. And in my college ID I actually look horrible. Like the lighting was crap. Basically at Paradise Valley they have like the crappiest lighting for where they're taking the photos. It's like you get put into a dark corner and they're like,
Say cheese.
And it's like, okay, and they're like, you only have two tries to look perfect, and I'm like, girl, if I need to look perfect, I need good lighting. So right here I have my Leo cup. I don't know if it's gonna focus. Should I become an ASMR channel? Like, is that a thing? So basically when I arrived at the DMV, I had my student ID through my college and I had my passport. And the reason that I have those two, like those are such awkward like identifications because I actually also lost my Arizona ID. I feel like my Arizona ID and my high school ID are in the same area, but I recently found my wallets, but they're not in there. So I'm coming to the conclusion that someone probably stole my ID and is out there with my identifications. The thing is though that I had my social security number. I still have it. So I didn't have my social security number when I first arrived there in the morning. I arrived around like 10 a.m. So it was like midday, like not noon yet. So it wasn't lunchtime. So I arrived there around 10 a.m. I had my passport and my college ID. So I went through the line for like the registration, I guess you could say, so where you sign up before you actually talk to them. So I went through that perfectly fine. I did my eye test and basically they did the eye test, it was like blinking and they were like,
"Choose if it's right, choose if it's left."
And then one of them was like above my eye and I'm like, what the hell do I say here? I said above and then she's like,
"No, choose right or left."
And I was like, it's obviously apparently like above me, so it's like in my third eye, like what the So basically I went through my eye exam. I passed through that. So after that I got a clipboard to fill out my information and I also got like a time slip or whatever because through the DMV they actually have, I don't know how to explain it. They give you a piece of paper so they can track how long the line is lasting. So like if you ever been to like Disney World or Disneyland, they give you these tickets or whatever. So when you go through the line, they can have like an accurate, I guess you could say, like time through how long it takes to go through the line. So I received the ticket and I was filling out my thing. And then when I first looked onto the paper, it was like social security number. I was like,
oh my god.
Because before we left, I was like, Mom, do you think I would need my social security number? And she was like, nah, I think you'll be okay. I don't think they would ask for it. And I was like,
I think they would.
because I tried actually filling out my permit test online, but I couldn't do it because I actually lost my Arizona identifications. So I didn't have an identification that I've been through the DMV before, if that makes any sense. So I didn't have my social security number, and it's horrible that at the age of 15, I still don't memorize my social security number. Like, that's an issue. But after this situation, I'm predetermined to actually memorize my social security number. So I was like, oh crap. I don't have my social security number, and I do not have it memorized. So my mom, she looked at me, she's like, you're responsible for this. And I was like,
what? I literally asked you this morning if I would need it.
and she was like, nah, I think you'll be okay. But I was like, ooh. So I didn't have that. So through the process of standing in line, we tried calling my brother at home so he could like tell me, list off my social security number. But at that point, he left to go to a friend's house or something because the phone went straight to voicemail, and it was really weird. So I was like, I tried calling him about like 3 times. So by that point, my mom was like, okay, I'm just gonna go home. I'm gonna grab your social security number, and then I'll read it off to you. But if anyone knows me, I get anxious in these type of situations where it's like you're standing in line and she's like,
if someone comes up to you, just let them pass through you. Just make it down to the line as far as you can until I arrive back.
and I was like, no. So I got out of line and I sat down. Let's hope this doesn't fall. So where were we? Let me see if it focuses. Ooh. That's kind of nasty. Okay. So basically, my mom took off to go grab my social security number at home. She said that she would just call and like read it off to me, but at this point I was like, just bring it, because I don't know what else they would want from me. So I stepped out of line because it was kind of awkward just being like, yeah, you can pass me, I'm waiting for someone. Like, it was so awkward. So I sat down and I filled out my identification stuff. And then 20 minutes has passed and I'm like, Mom, where are you? So I kept calling her back. And she's like, I'm on my way, I'm on my way, I'm on my way. And by the like the 5th call or something, she's just like, what? And I was like,
Mom, I need my social security number. People are looking at me weird. I'm just standing here.
and then she's like, I'm on my way. Trust me, it's gonna take a bit. So I was like, okay. So by this point, like 30 minutes or 40 minutes has passed just because I decided not to bring my social security number. I had my identifications, but in America, you basically need your social security number. And that's all you need, because in society you're basically seen as a number, not a human. That's the reality, and it sucks. So time has passed. I was sitting in my seat for about 40 minutes waiting for my mom to bring me my social security number. So by that point, the guy that registered me in the beginning, that took my eye exam and all that, he came over to me and he grabbed my slip thing that kept the time, because he's like,
this isn't going to show an accurate time to the people waiting. I'm gonna take this and you can come to me when you're ready.
and I was like, okay, don't get aggravated with me. I was like,
I'm waiting for my mom. I'm waiting for my parents.
so he took my number. So by that point, I was basically, I had to wait in line again, which really sucked. So another 20 minutes has passed or something, and then my mom showed up. She gave me my social security number. We filled it out, and then I was like,
Hey Mom, we're gonna have to go back and grab my number so they have like an accurate time.
which is so stupid. Like, I could have totally went through it, but since the DMV had to have a number and had to show that,
Oh, we only take 5 minutes to get through.
honey, that basically took an hour and I have to go another hour through? No. So my mom got aggravated with that. So we went through, I got my number, and then we went into line so we can talk to the people so I can get my picture done and all that before I took the test. So I went through that. That was quite simple. I went to the person, gave my identification. I swear I hear like coming undone over there. So basically I gave my identifications and then they're like,
oh, let's go over here so we can take your picture before you take your test.
and I was like, girl, I don't know if you want to take my picture before I take the test because I have no idea if I'm going to pass this. So we went over, the light was blinding, it was ridiculous. It was like, ugh. It was ridiculous. So then I took only one try because I thought I looked kind of okay. It was the best that I was gonna look, okay? So I was like,
okay, I can deal with that.
so we walked over, filled out the rest. By that point, it was time for me to actually take the test. So she told me to go. That was nerve-wracking. I heard my mom walk past and it was really scary. I wasn't sure if she was gonna walk in and I wasn't about to be talking to the camera and looking like an idiot. Okay. So by this point, I got my thing to fill out. She took my picture and she told me to go through like a set of double doors or whatever to go take my test, and she told me to go on to computer 4. So I went in. They provided like a sample test, I guess you could say, so you can like get used to like the software and get used to how the process is gonna work. So I took the sample test. It was only one question. It was literally just a picture of a horse and it was like, what animal is this? And I was like,
a cat?
so I pressed the horse option, obviously, and I passed my sample test. Wow, look at me go. Then I actually went into the actual test so I could take it. It was only 30 questions. It was quite easy. I've been studying through ADOT's website, like the 3 sample tests, and they're exact word for word on the test. So if anyone is in Arizona is planning to take their permit test, go onto ADOT and take the sample test because those will help you out. Like, girl, do not take your time and read through that 1,000 page manual. Like, there's no point. Okay, so I passed it. I actually got 100%, so perfect score for perfect boy. And then it told me like my average of time of how long it took me to answer each question. Mine was like 10 seconds. The entire test for my permit was only 4 minutes. So it's not that ridiculous once you make it past the identification and getting to confirm who you are as a person, making sure that you are a US citizen or whatever. So I took the test, I passed it, and then I had to get into another line. So the common theme at the DMV is that you get into lines, get into lines, get into lines, get into lines, get into lines. It's just a lot of lines and it's ridiculous. So I went into another line, waited for another good like 20 minutes. It was annoying. So I waited and then I went up, did my identifications again. Like, they're ridiculous with identifications to make sure that you are who you are. So by that point, it only took like 5 minutes to actually get my printed out paper. So right now I actually have my permit printed out on like a receipt, like a paper. They said that it'll take 3 to 4 days to actually come into the mail, like the physical plastic copy for my actual identification. So that's pretty exciting. If there's one thing that was kind of weird about the situation, when I was taking the test, there was another boy like right next to me. And so basically I walked in, I got onto my test and I was going perfectly great. But then like 2 minutes in or something, he like got up, slammed his chair and he's like, "Are you serious?" And I was like, "Oh, don't attack me." And then he like opened the door, slammed it, and like ran out the DMV. So basically what I'm taking out of this situation is that I'm assuming that he failed the test and was aggravated. Like, it was a 30-year-old man that failed his permit test, and I was like, girl, if you're not going to take the time and initiative to look through and study, then how the hell are you going to get through this test? And then I was talking to the guy that was actually giving my identifications, and he said that he's been through the DMV at least like 3 times or something like that. And he was saying it's just ridiculous and it's so stupid for you to come back and to expect results and a difference if you're not going to take the time to change. So I took that as a moral, as a story, I guess you could say, that if you want to change, you have to take action. If you're not going to take action, then nothing's going to change and you're just going to be sitting in one place aggravated with your life. So that was pretty weird. It's pretty weird. So that's basically it for my permit experience at the DMV. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So if you guys enjoyed this video about my permit spilling the tea video, then give it a big thumbs up. And if you want to follow my journey, then of course subscribe. And this is all through consent, so I'm not saying that you have to. If you want to, that'd be great. I love you guys, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye guys. Mwah.